Welcome to The Logic Loop, the podcast where strategy meets story and community drives growth.
This is your space for bite-sized, high-impact conversations on marketing, entrepreneurship, and the tech shaping our industry.
We're your hosts. I'm Faith Boone, founder of Boone Logic, and my co-host is Sam Hale, Boone Logic's digital content director. We're here to spark ideas, challenge perspectives, and open the door to meaningful conversation.
Because the Logic Loop isn't just about tactics. It's about the people behind the work, the relationships we build, and the stories that move us forward. So as our first official episode, we're so excited to be here and share a little bit about who we are, what Boone Logic is, and to just kind of set the stage for the community we're hoping to build through the Logic Loop. So Faith, do you want to kick it off and go into a little bit about how Boone Logic came to be?
Yeah, for sure. So I actually started Boone Logic under a different name, very loosely under a different name back in like 20 goodness. I was still in college, I think. So it was like 2008 or something. I started this where I built a website and I called it Newbie Social. It was NEWB with a capital B social. And it was because I was a gamer at the time. And so I was like, noob is, that's a gamer word,
Yeah.
noob. But a noob to the social media space. And so I always had this idea of offering social media services to other organizations, other companies and things. But it wasn't until uh it was 2021 and I had a full-time job as a marketing director for a nonprofit, and COVID happened, or it was happening is what I should say. It was definitely happening, hardcore happening. And I lost my job and I had a decision to make, right? Was I going to try to go find another full-time job, or was I going to venture out on my own? I got my first contracting gig in 2013 with First Energy Corporation, um, doing like web analysis, kind of web search performance kind of stuff for them. And so over that whole time doing social media, doing other marketing type things, I had learned so many skills over time. And then being a marketing director for a nonprofit helped me to learn a lot as well. So just that entire career really helped me to then launch Boone Logic. And the really great caveat to that, I'm sure that we'll touch on a little bit about our journalism backgrounds, but that's really how Boone Logic got started. It kind of grew out of a necessity for me to find more gainful employment, but I was very excited to start my own thing, and it has now grown to include Sam with me as well.
And I love sometimes you need the unfortunate situations to give you the, I don't want to say confidence, but like the motivation to actually take the leap. So I feel like a lot of what we do is trying to help soften the leap for other people if they're just getting into marketing and wanting to expand and get their message out.
Exactly.
So Faith touched on a bit. We both have journalism backgrounds. I remember my interview with you, and we were just like giddy little schoolgirls because you were like, "You were a journalist. I was a journalist," and like we kind of had the same career path. So I started off in community journalism and was trying to get the newspaper I worked for to really embrace multimedia and using it to amplify their storytelling, make it a little more interactive, also do stuff online as opposed to just the print paper. And they didn't love that idea. They were really dedicated to what they've always been doing, which, to each their own. But I kind of moved into graphic design more when I worked for a winery, which in hindsight is just so random. Like it was a fun stories, but kind of a random switch. And the boss there, to give him credit, was just like, you have so much more skill than just like I was designing wine labels. So he actually
Yeah.
made me like a marketing, I don't even remember what my actual title was. I think it was like marketing associate, something like that.
Yeah.
And kind of doing more with doing their social media, which I was already doing. So he was like, let's let's give it a better title that like explains what it is. And then I was just looking, same thing, like around COVID was weird because it was like businesses were closing. It was a really scary time, wanting to make sure you had like stable income. I got a COVID dog at the time too. So I wanted to be home with him, Mr.
Oh,
Murph. I got him like 2021, I think.
I remember you telling me
Um,
about this dog. Yes.
he did not love being home alone. So I was like, obviously, I need a remote job. One, to make more money to buy him more snacks. And two, so that I could, be home and have more stability. Because at that time, especially in like the food and beverage industry, it was like, I don't really know how
Yeah.
this is going to go. And thankfully, Faith picked me out of her applicants. And then we kind of just full steamed ahead. I got to do all the things I love. We offer so much with Boone Logic. We do a little bit of everything. You have the storytelling, content development, I mean, websites, podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, at that point, I was like, say less. I get to do all the things I love or to help. We do a lot of work with nonprofits, which is
Yeah.
so special. I love wine as much as the next person, but it's a little more fulfilling
Right.
helping out people who have really impactful missions.
Yeah, no, definitely. I second the how much we love wine, and I also second being able to help people who are making an impact and also making an impact through the work that we do because, we design things, we come up with the language, we help people massage the language that they come up with so that it
Mhm.
resonates better with the audience. Um, and I also just want to throw out here that Sam's being very modest about the pool of applicants that I searched through to find her. I had like 500 plus applications because this was my first time actually looking for someone to work very closely with me other than my marketing assistant LB, who's in the Philippines. And so Sam, even though I'm in Cleveland, Ohio, and Sam was in Buffalo, New York at the time, um, it was still fine that she was there because we do everything through our computers. But the amount of people the amount of fake or not even fake, they were probably real resumes, but people did not read what they were applying for. People are just out here applying for jobs. They're just like,
Yeah.
whatever. I don't care what skills I got. I'm just going to throw this out there. But I
See what
can't
sticks.
it's just crazy that I was able to even find you in there.
Mhm.
And something about your resume stood out. And then I remember I interviewed you and two other women, and you by far were the top pick. And like I couldn't wait to start working with you. And I just felt like we had some very similar personality traits too. And
Mhm.
so um, it's been such a pleasure working with you. I get along with you so well, and that's really nice.
Which is great because then I was like, hey, Faith, now that I've been working with you for a while, I have these ideas. What do
Yeah,
you think?
exactly.
So, which leads us into the logic loop, which I'm very excited about. We've touched on in different ways that community and connecting with people, authentic relationships, storytelling is always at the heart of what we do. So whether we're putting together a press release, a social media campaign, editing a video, like all of our services are grounded with those same values. And so I'm really excited and hope that the people listening share those values and kind of want to join the community that we're starting. So we have the Logic Loop podcast, which of course you're listening to now. And I'm really excited to use this as an opportunity to have the conversations for things that we all can relate to and also just chat about within the industry. Because something I've also noticed is with all the clients we work with, it's so amazing to get everyone's different perspectives because it's so
A
easy to
hundred
kind of be
percent.
in your own little bubble and be like,
Mm-hmm.
well, this, like, I know what this means. This is what I'm doing. But other people can see it, even if it's slightly different, and how much value that can add and make
Yeah.
things better, which is why, like, whenever we can collaborate with each other, with our clients,
Mm-hmm.
it just amplifies whatever you're doing. So I'm excited whether it's between us when we have like guests pop on to just have those conversations. We'll learn something. Hopefully, listeners will learn something, and to just share that a little bit, build a community. And hopefully, we'll also be having a newsletter as well. So there'll be information in the show notes. And that's just going to be the next step to building that community, a place for us all to connect, share resources, help each other on this journey because everything's expensive. So sometimes it's nice to just like have a community where you can share resources and just kind of like bounce ideas off of each other and not feel transactional.
Agree with that 100%. I mean, when I started Boone Logic, I remember one of the main words that came to mind was collaboration, and it was because I
Mhm.
see how much competition is out there, and the weight of how much competition is needed versus how much collaboration is needed is just, there's a big difference there.
Yeah.
If people could, if organizations, people, individuals, nonprofits, if we could all work more together and collaborate more together, I love the idea that that could really start something new and something fresh, and that it can bring more to the people that we're trying to serve. I love
Yeah.
that we take the time to collaborate with other marketing agencies. We just sit down and have brainstorming sessions with other marketers. We're not trying to steal anyone's ideas. We love sharing ideas with each other, and we love helping each other build off of things and helping each other grow. And,
Yeah.
with the way our world is right now and how everything is operating, it's nice to know that there's still these opportunities for us to come together and try to create new things, not just
Mhm.
by ourselves, but by that mantra that people use usually when they're talking about like new moms with their kids. It takes a village. Well, guess
Yeah,
what? It takes
absolutely.
a village in the business world too. It takes a village in the nonprofit world. It takes a village in the marketing world to put all this together.
Yeah.
I mean, we wear many hats, like Sam said. We cover the gamut of communications and marketing and multimedia and journalism. Like
Mhm.
it's just
All of
like
the things. Yeah.
all of the things. But it really does come down to the storytelling, and collaborative storytelling is
Yeah.
very powerful.
And what I love is I've been seeing a lot on like my social media as I'm, doom scrolling or whatever, but it's not really doom scrolling because I'm in the cozy corner of like crafts and like
Yeah.
granny hobbies and stuff. It's nice over here. Everyone's friendly.
There's a
Um,
warm fire.
yeah, in most of the videos, yeah, they're like
Yes.
crocheting in front of a fire. I love it. But a trend going on right now is people being like, my application to be your cozy creator, something like that, for 2026. And they're sharing who they are, what they do, how it's a safe place, safe corner of the internet, cozy little corner of the internet. And that's kind of what I want this to be, a community for people, whether they're in the marketing industry or, even someone trying to make their own little cozy corner of the internet and they don't know how to get that started.
Mm-hmm.
The Logic Loop is a safe place for everyone to come and get information, get community, and not feel alone.
Yep.
Because when you were talking about that competition, it feels so segmented. And the world, like, there's already a lot going on. And
Mm-hmm.
so people shouldn't have to feel alone and like they're left to figure it out by themselves on top of that. So hopefully you all will join this journey with us as we work to build that. It's very friendly and cozy over here. And I'm excited to see where this goes.
Me too. I'm really excited for us to get some guest speakers to chat with us, and just to see what we can publish from this too. We love, multi-purposing things. So this podcast
Yeah.
will probably turn into a nice little blog on our website, and who knows what that can turn into. So
Yeah,
definitely look out for more content that comes from these podcast sessions that we have.
absolutely. So, if you believe that strong relationships are the foundation of great storytelling, then the Logic Loop is the place for you. We'll hope you join us on this adventure as we build a community centered on storytelling, authentic connections, and shared growth.
Check out the show notes for more ways you can get involved, and we hope you will tune in again for our next episode of The Logic Loop.
Yeah, it was so fun.
I loved it.